Current Indians and your 16-3 Mavericks. Time now to meet the batting order and starting lineup for tonight's teams. First of all, for the visiting Swift Current Indians, here's the batting order. The DH bats first, number 18, Darren Koch. Batting second, Tyler Enns, the center fielder. Batting third, Nate Ackerman, right fielder, number 15. And the cleanup hitter is number 29, Nick Day, the third baseman. Kevin Chernecki, second baseman, number 9, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Reed Fritzke, the first baseman, batting sixth. Number 12, Andrew Sacida, left fielder. Batting eighth is Jake Garcia, the catcher, and batting ninth, Drew Brooks, the shortstop. David Stagg, number 43, is the starting right-handed pitcher. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Mavericks starting lineup is brought to you by Medicine Hat Refrigeration, keeping you cool while the Mavericks heat up the field. Here's the batting order. Left fielder from San Jose, number 9, Gabe Larez, batting first. Batting second from Tennessee, second baseman Ryan Kemp. And batting third is the shortstop, Hulk Rowlett. Cleanup hitter from the Bronx, right fielder. Batting sixth is the BC, number 28, Zach John.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Fans, this time we direct your attention to the pitcher's mound area. And would you please welcome Gia and Jackson. These two youngsters are representing Sports Connections, Matt Broussard, and they are here to throw tonight's ceremonial first pitches. Once again, Gia and Jackson.
And welcome to another edition of Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians Baseball. Tonight we come at you live from Athletic Park in Medicine Hat, a field that in 2013 was underwater, but bounced back nicely, and it looks like it's in great playing condition. And we're good to go for at least 9 innings between the Swift Current Indians and the Medicine Hat Mavericks, a rematch of last year's WNBL Championship Final. The Medicine Hat Mavericks, though, they're currently sitting tied for third place in the WNBL Alberta division with the Edmonton Prospects, both with identical records of 16 and 13. The Swift Current Indians, moving out of the cellar in the Saskatchewan division, now have a record.
For Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Pitching for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, they're going to send to the mound Landon Russo. His last start was in Swift Current, part of that 12-4 Swift Current Indians win. Landon Russo, he's a left-handed pitcher. 5 appearances, all of them starts, 26 and 2/3 innings of work. He's been hit off 38 times, 15 runs, 11 of them earned. He's walked and struck out 7. 2-0 on the year with a 3.71 ERA. For the Swift Current Indians, Darren Koch will be leading off. Darren Koch, looking at his numbers, he's 5th in the league in batting average with an average of .360. And Koch also tied for 2nd in the league at home runs with 3. So Darren Koch will lead off for the Swift Current Indians. Koch ends Ackerman. And we'll see if we get to Nick Day. He's going to be hitting cleanup for the Swift Current Indians. Nate Ackerman, talking about him, hitting 3rd in the lineup for the Swift Current Indians. League leader in home runs and 3rd in batting average in the WNBL. So Nate's having a good season last few weeks, and 7 for 12 in stolen bases. So with no more ado, we're good to go here. Landon Russo from Mesa, Arizona, getting set to pitch to Darren Koch, the native of Duncan, BC. Koch hits from the left side of the plate. He's homered on the first pitch of the game in the top of the first twice this year. He's not going to do it this time, but a strike is called as Landon Russo, lefty on lefty, paints the outside corner against Darren Koch. And Koch dealing with an 0-1 count. That'll be fouled back, and Landon Russo, Swift Current Indians trying to fight their way out of the cellar in the WNBL Saskatchewan division. They're in 5th now. A couple of games in hand on the Melville Millionaires, who now find themselves in last place in the SAS division. 0-2 pitch from Russo. Koch swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Koch retired in 3 pitches from Landon Russo. So the start the Medicine Hat Mavericks wanted, facing Koch, who's been a potent leadoff hitter for the Swift Current Indians and an offensive dynamo over the past few weeks.
Tonight's beer batter brought to you by Butcher Blinds, Canada's #1 choice for custom window coverings. Number 24, Tyler N.
Struck out swinging, but 60 batting average. Do you think he'll contribute in this game? Tyler N's up now. Ends 243 on the season, 1 home run, 10. Landon Russo, fastball, just misses to ends. Nothing in 1 the count. Next action for the Swift Current Indians at home is going to be tomorrow night when they host the Regina Red Sox, who have lost their last 8. Ground ball by Tyler Enns, and that's hit to the third baseman, who throws a strike all the way across the diamond. That's Tennessee contributing the 5-3 out, and Tyler Enns grounds out to third. That'll bring Nate Ackerman to the plate. And yes, how good has Nate Ackerman been this year? 3rd in the WNBL in batting average, .366.
Nate Ackerman.
Tied for the lead in home runs with 4 of them. Ackerman with 15 RBI. He's trailing in that statistic, but otherwise he'd be a solid Triple Crown contender in the league. Ackerman with 15 RBI. The league leader is Aaron Green, who plays for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. He's got 25 of them. Ackerman fouls off the first pitch. You look at Nate Ackerman's spray chart, and he's all over the place this year. Everyone needs to be on their toes with Nate on the plate. Against lefties, he often goes opposite field. Medicine Hat Mavericks with Jose Cruz out of the Bronx in right. He may be ready for something from Ackerman. Always a lively crowd here at Medicine Hat. The fans support their team, and they're into it as Ackerman fouls one down the third base line. A big hack, but he topped it. Will Nate Ackerman provide early game fireworks for the Swift Current Indians? Landon Russo is going to step off, clear his thoughts and his sweat, and 1-2 pitch. High fly ball by hit down the first base line, and that's going to be out of range of anyone who could potentially get to that. Jose Cruz in right field, and first baseman Andy Scott, a local product from right here in Medicine Hat on down. So Ackerman, another pitch. So
third baseman Nick Day.
So Nate Ackerman singles moments ago, and that'll bring Nick Day to the plate. Day, the hero last night, with a 2-run home run late in the game to give the Swift Current Indians a 5-4 win over the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Day home run. Two 2-0 the count to Day now. With Nate Ackerman at first, the count 2-0 to Nick Day as Landon Russo delivers to the plate again at the feet of Day. And it's a 3-0 count. Day will patiently sit back and wait for Russo to throw him a strike with the count 3-0. Day on the year hitting .274, 2 home runs, both coming at opportune clutch times for the Swift Current Indians, once in Yorkton and once last night to win the game. Shot by Dave, foul ball or fly ball. And Jose Cruz with a diving stab. And Nick Day will fly out to right field, and that'll do it for the Swift Current Indians. They will strand one. And the bottom of the first coming up. We're scoreless in Medicine Hat. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up. Living Sky Casino. Living Sky. Live it up.
The old saying goes,
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
And welcome back to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. The Swift Current Indians, for the first time in a while, starring Dave Stagg. He was out with illness, so he missed a few starts for the Tribe. This will be his 5th appearance of the year, all at 11. Stagg 1-3 on the year with an 8.19 earned run average. So Stagg, the big lefty out of Indiana, getting set to work to Gabe Laris, Ryan Kemp, and Blake Rowlett for the Mavs. First pitch to Gabe Laris from Stagg, just misses. It's a 1-0 count. Swift Current Indians hoping Dave Stagg can go deep in this one. The big lefty, as strike one is called on the 1-0 pitch to Gabe Laris. Chopped by Laris. And 1-2, the count. Dave Stagg came down with strep throat, which forced him to miss a couple starts for the Swift Current Indians. Just a bizarre season in dealing with pitchers for the Swift Current Indians. As two starters, Chris Hadlin and Ryan Benitez, went down with injury. Down by Kevin Zarnecki. He'll pick it up, get the throw over to first, but not with a runner. No, it's not your phone. Nobody out and one on here. Ryan Kemp, the second baseman, who homered in Swift Current, the 5'4" infield. Nobody down, and Gabe Laris on at first for Kemp to work with. As we're back with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball here in the hat. Stagg, the lefty, delivers to Kemp, and Kemp is going to be walked. And now it's 2 on for the Mavs. To the plate, 315 hitter, 1 home run, 14 RBI, no out here, and 2 Snap Mavericks as they threaten here. It'll be lefty on lefty. So advantage in regards, but the Swift Current Indians still looking for a first out Infield with their toes on the ground, everything in front of them. First pitch from Stagg is a strike as he goes right after Rowlett. 0-1 the count. Gabe Lairs at second, Ryan Kemp at first. Lairs on the year, 3 for 7 in the stolen base department. On and missed as Rowlett took a swing at that offering and then regretted the decision to do so. And 0-2 the count. Stagg low and away. Rowlett to chase after that. And the count is 1-2. On deck for the Mavericks, the native of the Bronx, who's their right fielder. Cruz has been eating up WNBL pitching over the past few weeks, hitting .392. Ground ball, and that'll be just out of the range of Kevin Zarnecki as he'll knock it down, but he's unable to make a play, and the bases are loaded. An infield single from Gabe Lairs, a walk, and then another infield single, that time by Blake Rowlett. As the sacks juiced and Jose Cruz at the plate. And the Medicine Hat Mavericks could do
Number 10, Jose Cruz.
crowd buzzing here in Medicine. Bases loaded. And one of the big bats in their lineup, Jose Cruz at the plate. He fouls off the first pitch from Stagg. 0-1 the crowd getting behind the right fielder, Cruz. The 0-1. That's sent foul by Cruz as he hit it behind him. Dave Stagg with the bases loaded. That's a called strike 3. The Swift Current Indians need it, and Stagg comes up big, catching Jose Cruz looking. The hits just keep on coming. Mavericks, though, as 301 hitter Brian Arthur makes his way to the plate. Arthur out of Abbotsford, BC. Lefty on lefty here, bases loaded and one down. The Swift Current Indians, that was big for Stagg to take care of Jose Cruz. To bring in runs here as Stagg pitches up to Jake Garcia. Starting defensive lineup for the Tribe, Dave Stagg pitching, throwing to Jake Garcia. Reed Fritzke, the playing first base for the Swift Current Indians. Edmonton's second, Drew Brooks back in at short. And you got Nick Day at third. Outfield, Andrew Sauceda in left. Tyler Enns in center. And Nate Ackerman in right field. Enns and Ackerman, perfect attendance thus far for the Swift Current Indians. A Stagg 2-0 pitch. Or pardon me, the 1-0 pitch. Now 2-0. And the count 2. Has a look at the runner at first. Deals to Arthur. 3-0 count. Stagg the 3-0. Hit to Reed Fritzke, play at the plate. He took Garcia off home plate, but Jake, with the presence of mind to apply the tag, and that's 2 out. Bases remain loaded. Tribe not out of the woods yet, but they can see the end of it. Brian Arthur hitting a ground ball to Reed Fritzke at first. And Zach Johnson to the plate for Medhat.
28 for your Mavericks. The DH, Zach Johnson.
Johnson, 322 on the year, 13 hits and 59 at bats. Or Zach Johnson, actually. I was looking at Devin Johnson's numbers. Zach, 2 at-bats on the year and 1 hit, so he's hitting .500 in very limited action. Johnson only his 3rd at-bat of the year. Native of... Medicine counted the bases in the first inning, but the Swift Current Indians, after the Mavs put 3 runners on, the Tribe have had the last 2 outs. Johnson gets a piece of that ball before ticking it into the pair of Jake Garcia. And 1-1 the count. Stagg got himself into a jam. He's close to getting out of it, but the Mavs may about that. Pitch is just a bit up, and 2-1 the count now. Two-one pitch, ground ball, pass Drew Brooks, war. Second one coming in, throw is off target, 2 score. The Swiss one. On the board as a single by Zach Johnson with the bases 2. And it's a quick lead for the Mavs. You mean you haven't? Well, Dave Stagg strikes out Ryan Helgren to take care of the Medicine Mavericks in the second inning, but the Mavs put 2 on the board, and the Tribe will try and get that back. The top of the second coming up, and we'll be back shortly, hopefully to stick around with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
The Hearing Place is proud to continue their support of the Swift Current Indians Baseball Club. Located conveniently in the Swift Current City Plaza, the Hearing Place is your #1 stop for hearing healthcare in Southwest Saskatchewan. On your hearing, get tested by our qualified audiologist, Karen Woods. Call the Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment today. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle, $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the...
And we're back with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. It's a new Swift Current Indians webcast this year, fighting through a few technical issues throughout the course of the season. As Kevin Zarnecki, no issues with that swing there as he finds something he can drive and pounds it into right field. Zarnecki, the native of Edmonton, pulling that pitch. And the Swift Current Indians, with one on, nobody out. Reed Fritzky at the plate, the local product for the Swift Current Indians. We'll look to continue what's been a solid rookie season for the 1996-born infielder. Fritzky grew up playing both hockey and baseball. Look out! Fritzky swings the bat right out of his hands, hitting .282 on the year is Reed. And 0-1 after an unconventional strike to Fritzky. Kevin Zarnecki on at first. Landon Russo taking time between pitches with Kevin Zarnecki at first, the lefty. Has a look over at Zarnecki and will focus on Fritzky now. Fritzky gets good lumber on that ball, but just foul down the third base line. So Fritzky, a strike that took the bat right out of his hands, and a long strike down the third base line. Has him at 0-2. Andrew Sauceda on deck for the Swift Current Indians. Kevin Zarnecki on the year. At first, as Fritzky strikes out. Zarnecki, you look at him, and he doesn't appear to be the most fleet of foot player, but 6 stolen bases on the year. In that statistic on the Swift for third. So Andrew Sauceda up now for the Tribe. 1 out and 1 on. First pitch to Sauceda finds the strike zone, and 0-1. Russo checks the runner over at first. It's 2-0 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We're in the top of the second. Sauceda represents the tying run for the Swift Current Indians. Lefty pitcher versus righty hitter. Jake Garcia on deck. Pitch to Sauceda. High ground ball. Rowlett charges. Thought about the throw to second base, and he'll throw it Sauceda at first as Rowlett bobbled that offering momentarily. So Sauceda grounds out to the second baseman. Jake Garcia up for the Tribe. .220 hitter on the year. 6 RBI for Jake.
Number 5, the catcher, Jake Garcia.
Garcia from Albuquerque, New Mexico, right at home in this 35 degrees Celsius day here in Medicine Hat. So 2 down. Zarnecki advanced to second base. Zarnecki inching his way off second with his leadoff. Garcia, high fly ball. Ryan Kemp, the second baseman, will charge in and call everyone off and make the grab. So Garcia flies out to the second baseman. Bottom of 2 coming up. It's a 2-0 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We'll be back shortly with more Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
Many of us take our ability to communicate for granted, yet the ability to hear and be heard is much more vital to our everyday lives than we realize. If you or someone you know is struggling, please call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment with our clinical officer, Karen Woods. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
And welcome back to more Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the action from Medicine Hat. Dave Stagg and the Swift Current Indians trailing the Mavs by a score of 2-0. Bottom of 2 coming up here. And for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, local product Andy Scott, Brody Hawkins, and Gabe Laris. 8-9-1 due up for the locals. So Dave Stagg, the lefty from Indiana, throws his warm.
Brody Hawkins.
And moments ago, Andy Scott grounded out to the third baseman, Nick Day. And that'll bring Brody Hawkins to the plate, number 9 hitter for the Mavs. Hawkins, a .308 hitter, 3 dingers and 14 ribbies on the year. Nobody on and 1 down here, number 9 hitter for the Mavs. Up now, Dave Stagg. Touched up a little bit in the first inning as the Medicine Hat Mavericks loaded the bases and brought in 2 runs on an RBI single from Zach Johnson. Fastball from Stagg, just misses up, 1-2 the count. Stagg, pitch in the dirt to Garcia, and that's 2-2. Stagg getting ahead of Hawkins quick, trying to get Hawkins to swing at something out of the zone. Hawkins stays disciplined, and the count is 2-2. Stagg and Jake Garcia agree on a pitch. Off speed offering up. And it's a full count now to Hawkins. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order and Gabe Lair's on deck. Stagg delivers. And that'll be hit just out of Athletic Park. Foul over top of the seats. Straight south to the neighboring residential area. And it's another 3-2 pitch from Stagg on the way. The big lefty. One hops Garcia. That hits him in his shin guards. And it's a walk to the number 9 hitter, Hawkins. Top of the order, and Gabe Lair's up. Stagg's got a heck of a pickoff move, and we'll see if he implements it here in the bottom of the second with his team down 2-0. Stagg, the lefty pitcher, and it's so hard for hitters to pick up whether he's going to the plate or whether he's going to try throwing to first. Hawkins taking a healthy lead over there, and you can bet Stagg will be mindful of that. And don't be surprised if the big lefty from Indiana gets crafty. And he throws over. Too hot to handle for Fritzke. He can't find it. Yeah, Stagg went low with that pickoff move. Stagg came close, but it came in hot to Fritzke over at first. 0-1, the count to Laris, leadoff hitter. And not taking nearly as big a leadoff now is Hawkins. Ground ball High chopper, Drew Brooks, backhand, slipped on the grass, and throws it over to Reed Fritzky, and Fritzky couldn't keep that in front of him, keep his foot on the bag, and that'll careen into foul territory. And for the second time this game, Gabe Laris resourcefully gets himself on base. Drew Brooks, if you look back at that on the webcast, you'll see that he just lost his footing on his pivot foot there. And that made him throw that ball a little bit away from Reed Fritzky. As Fritzky tried to keep his corral that baseball.
Ryan Kemp.
So instead of getting the runner at first, the Medicine Hat Mavericks now have runners on at second and third. And still one out. Ryan Kemp at the plate. Kemp, a 195 hitter, 1 home run, 12 RBI. He hit that home run in Swift Current as part of a 12-4 Medicine Hat Maverick loss. He hit it to left field in Swift. A home run in Medicine Hat is much harder to come by if you hit it in the corners. Be remiss if we didn't talk about the unconventional dimensions here at Athletic Park as Jake Garcia goes and has a chat with Dave Stagg. 350 in left field. The average in the league is 325, so you're 350 in the corners. However, if you like to hit balls to center field, you have a better chance of going yard as they're only 385 to straightaway center. And as you can see in the outfield, there's that big berm that was built. Athletic Park here in Medicine Hat was flooded in 2013, flooded big time. The park was out of commission, and the Medicine Hat Mavericks weren't able to use it in the majority of 2013. They've just finished construction on that berm should the waters rise again. Medicine Hat Mavericks, despite not playing on their home field in 2013, had a great regular season. They went all the way to the league finals, but were upset by the Melville Millionaires. Their field for the Swift Current Indians right now. He was a member of that 2013 championship-winning team in Melville that won the title in Medicine Hat, but not at this ballpark, as Kemp fouls that down the third base line. And 2-1 the count to the diminutive infielder. Ryan Kemp, 5'4", 160, out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. High fly ball. Hit to the aforementioned Tyler Enns in center field. Enns will get underneath that and make the grab. The Med Hat Mavericks are going to tag up a runner at third and bring him in. So Ryan Kemp, the Rey Mysterio Jr. of the WNBL, comes up big again with that sac fly RBI. And the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead is increased to 3. As he cashes in Brody Hawkins, who walked at the beginning of this inning. Nothing lead for the Mavs. We're in the bottom of the second inning on Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Thanks for sticking with us on the webcast here. We fought through a few technical difficulties early on, but hopefully able to give you the rest of this one with some consistency here. As Blake Rowlett at the plate, he legged out an infield single at his last trip to the dish as he pulled one towards Kevin Zarnecki that Zarnecki was able to knock down but unable to make that throw to first. 0-1, the count to Blake Rowlett. Rowlett hits .315 on the year. Clarksville, Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee products on this Medicine Hat Mavericks team. Pitch low and away, Garcia expecting it, and he was on his knees in front of it, ready and waiting. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away here. As Ryan Kemp, sac fly RBI, scored a run moments ago. Another pitch low and away as dust is kicked up. And a 2-1 count. Stagg looks the runner at second. Delivers to the plate, and again, Stagg trying to paint that outside corner, but he's been unable to get that pitch up to the height that he needs, and 3-1 the count. Stagg 3-1 delivery, fourth coming here. Runner on at second. Hard hit ball, a 3-1 pitch. Hammered into right field. Mav sending the runner home. Nate Ackerman with the throw just in front of Jake Garcia. And coming in to score is Gabe Laris. As an RBI single from Blake Rowlett has scored Laris from second base, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. 2 runs in the first, 2 here in the second. And Jose Cruz up. Dave Stagg struck out Cruz the last time these two faced off.
Mavericks number 10, Jose Cruz.
Medicine Hat Mavericks, Jose Cruz hitting .392. Not as many at-bats as most in the WNBL. The snap throw from Garcia, just in front of Reed Fritzke. Brandon Buffton currently is credited with the league lead in batting average, hitting .370, but it's a minimum of plate appearances per team game of 3. So Jose Cruz isn't quite there yet. But .392. 52 at-bats on the year, and Dave Stagg gets him with that pickoff move. You knew it was coming from Stagg, the crafty lefty. We weren't ready for it up in the broadcast booth. And at field level, Blake Rowlett wasn't ready for it either. So Jose Cruz will lead off for the Medicine Hat Mavericks when they bat in the third, but not before the Tribe get on the sticks. The hole is 4. And the Tribe will start climbing next when we return with Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball. It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up. Living Sky Casino.
The old saying goes,
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
We're back with more Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball in beautiful Athletic Park in Medicine Hat. This park was underwater 2 years ago after some flooding ravaged southeastern Alberta, but it's bounced back nicely. The playing surface looks great. Better than it did prior to the flood. And Medicine Hat fans, always vocal, cheering on their team. Medicine Hat, regardless of the sport, it's a tough city to play in for the opposition. Fans here are local, they are passionate, they will beat you, and they will be ruthless. They'll be hard on their own as well. If the locals aren't giving it a good effort, fans here in Medicine Hat will be just as hard on them as they are on the opposition. Drew Brooks leading off. Shout out to Drew's sister Jade, joining every Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball webcast from Hawaii, and we're glad that the Brooks family continues to be a part of everything. It was a great meeting Drew's folks, as they brought good luck to the Swift Current Indians. The Tribe 4-1 with Drew's mom in the stands, with Drew's parents there. So, pitch low and away to the number 9 hitter for the Swift Current Indians, Drew Brooks, who's stepped in and played short for the Tribe. Brooks a .220 hitter. Check that, .235 hitter. 2 home runs, 12 ribbies, 2-0 pitch, and that just misses. 3-0 the count to Brooks, his first at bat of the game. 3-0 pitch, and Brooks made him throw him a strike, and that didn't happen. So Brooks walked in 4 pitches. Second base runner of the game for the Swift Current Indians. Top of the order, and Darren Kolk up now for the Tribe. Kolk among the league leaders in batting average, .360 on the season.
18, Darren Kolk.
League leader in home runs is a 3-way tie between Nate Ackerman, Jose Rojas, and Moose Jaw's Marvin Malone. Kolk one behind at 3. League leaders tied with 4. Koch thinking yard, but strike 1 on that first offering. No out and 1 on for the Swift Current Indians designated hitter, Koch. He's played left field at times for the Swift Current Indians, and he's also come in to close a few games, pitching for the Tribe. Tribe 10-18, looking to work their way up the standings. Swift Current Indians, if they can get some consistency going, they could find themselves in the thick of things. Only team right now in the Saskatchewan division above 500 at the moment is the surprising Weyburn Beavers. Beavers with a record of 8-11. The second place team in the WNBL Saskatchewan division is the Yorkton Cardinals with a record of 4-17, and the Tribe only 2.5 games behind that in second place. It's a slugfest. So much parity in the WNBL this year. Lethbridge Bulls running away with the Alberta division with a record of 23-7. Then there's the Okotoks Dogs at 17-13, and then the Prospects and Mavs at 16-13. So the Prospects and Mavs tied for third, trailing the Dogs with a game at hand. Count is 2-2 to Darren Koch now. Tribe have won their last 2 games. Regina Red Sox plummeting down the standings. They've lost their last 8 after being solidly in second position for a while. Koch hits that 2-2 pitch. Kemp at second. They try and turn 2, the 6-4, but unable to connect the dots on the 3. As unable to dispatch that ball to first in time was Blake Rowlett. So Koch will reach on a fielder's choice. Ground ball on a 2-2 pitch, and that'll bring Tyler Enns to the plate. He grounded out to the third baseman on his last trip to the dish.
Tonight's beer batter brought to you by Budget Blinds, Canada's #1 choice for custom window covering, center fielder Tyler Enns.
And second trip to the plate. Tyler hitting .240 on the year from Winnipeg, University, British Columbia. And there's a strike, Landon Russo. First offering, and strike 1 on the board here at Athletic Park in the hat. So nothing in 1 the count. 1 down here. Darren Koch perched at first base. Koch 6 for 10 in stolen bases. He's looking for number 7 on the year, and he slides in safe. He got a good jump on it, and the throw from the catcher Hawkins was late. So Darren Koch swiped bag number 7 on the year. 7 for 11. And that ties him with Enns for second on the team. Jose Rojas leads the team with 8 of them. Rojas still sitting out with an upper body injury. Koch's going to try for third, too. Throw to third base, and Koch is there ahead of the tag. 2 pitches, 2 swipe bags for Darren Koch. Guess he wanted that team lead in stolen bases. So Koch 8 for 12 in stolen bases. Count to Tyler Enns as 1 and 2. 1 out and a runner in scoring position. I don't think Koch is going to try and steal home, but stranger things have happened. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Hawkins. Koch stays put. Nate Ackerman on deck, and there's 1 down. Medicine Hat fans trying to clap Tyler Enns out. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. In between the legs of Helgren at third base. Enns will scamper to second. He better get down, and he does. Koch comes in to score. Tyler Enns at second. And the Swift Current Indians on the board. It's now a 4-1 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Koch stole second, then he stole third, and then Tyler Enns drilled one through the legs of Helgren at third base. And the Swift Current Indians on the board, 1 out. And their RBI leader, Nate Ackerman, at the plate. Ackerman and Koch tied for the team lead in RBIs. They got 15 each.
15, Nate Ackerman.
Enns at second base. And we'll see if the Tribe continue to keep stealing on the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Will Tyler Enns try for third after Koch successfully swiped 2 bases? Not this time. First pitch to Ackerman, a finesse pitch that dropped in low from the soft lefty Russo. And Hawkins is going to pop out from behind the plate and have a quick chin wag with his pitcher as Ackerman will use those big arms to take a couple hacks. Ackerman, 216, strong as an ox. 4 dingers on the year, 15 RBI. 366 is his batting average. Among the league leaders, the league leader in home runs, among the league leaders in batting average. Pitch up and out to Nate. 2-0 count. On deck, Nick Day, last night's hero. Day with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th to give the Tribe a 5-4 win over the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Nick is on deck. Ackerman looking for heroics now. He takes a big swing. And nothing doing. 2-1 the count. Tyler Enns at second base. After he hit home Darren Koch. High fastball to Ackerman, 3-1. Scores 4-1 for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Tribe have put 1 on the board here in the top of the 3rd. Ackerman takes a big hack, and the count will be 3-2. Tyler Enns at the top of your screen, eager to advance past second base. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down to Ackerman. Check swing by Ackerman. Did he go? No, he didn't, and Nate will trot to first. Walked for the 9th time this year. Second time Ackerman has been a base runner this game for the Swift Current Indians. He singled in the first. Nick Day up. And the Medicine Hat Mavs pitching coach is going to come out and have a brief convo with Landon Russo and catcher Brody Hawkins with 1 down. And a couple Swift Current Indians base runners on. You got Tyler Enns at second, Nate Ackerman at first, Nick Day at the plate. Swift Current Indians for the team. This is game number 29 on the season. Nick Day, number 16 for him, a late arrival for the Swift Current Indians. 2 home runs, 6 RBI, 62 at-bats, and he's got 17 hits. 4 doubles, and Day even has a triple on the year to go with those 2 home runs. So Ackerman and Enns at first and second, respectively, 1 down. Nick Day at the plate representing the tying run. Mavericks lead at 4-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Strike 1 to Day, 0-1 the count. Russo. Day chops that off of himself. And behind 0-2. Kevin Zarnecki on deck for the Swift Current Indians. 250 hitter on the year. He's got 1 home run and 8 ribbies. So 0-2 today. Landon Russo delivers to the plate, and that's fouled towards the Mavs dugout. And count remains 0-2 to Nick. As the Swift Current Indians have got 1 on the board, Tyler Enns bringing home Darren Koch. Koch made things happen on the base pads. Ground ball hit by Day. Hit to third baseman Helgren. They'll try and turn 2. The 5, 4, and the 3. Double play. Swift Current Indians do score 1 in their half of the third inning, and the Medicine Hat lead has been narrowed to 3. It's a 4-1 Mav lead. We'll try and keep it that way when we return shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
The Hearing Place is proud to continue their support of the Swift Current Indians Baseball Club. Located conveniently in the Swift Current City Plaza, the Hearing Place is your #1 stop for hearing healthcare in Southwest Saskatchewan. Don't compromise on your hearing. Get tested by our qualified audiologist, Karen Woods. Call the Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment today. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle, $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the lower club. That'll get you 3 baseball games plus rooms, and the trip is guaranteed. Also ask about a cruise trip in February of 2016 and their 7 Disneyland trips. Excel Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
And welcome back to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Jose Cruz leading off for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Cruz, Arthur, and Zach Johnson due up for the Mavs.
Number 10, Jose Cruz.
Swift Current Indians getting a bit of a break in the sense that Aaron Green is not in the lineup today. League leader in RBIs with 25 of them. Out with a wrist injury. So Green leading the league in ribbies, but the Tribe don't have to deal with him today. But Jose Cruz at the plate. Cruz struck out the last time he faced Dave Stagg. 4-1, Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. Cruz, Brian Arthur, and Zach Johnson due up. Johnson played for the Okotoks Dogs last year. Took some time off and played south of the border in a scouting league before returning to the Wimble. There's a shot by Jose Cruz, and that is going to get past Andrew Sauceda and left. And Cruz will scamper to second with a double to get the Medicine Hat Mavs rolling in the third inning. Because it's so deep in the corners, if a ball is hit to the corner, there's a good chance for extra bases here in Medicine Hat. 350 down the lines. And Jose Cruz hitting that one to left field. And once it got past Sauceda, Cruz knew that he was able to get at least a double out of the deal. So Brian Arthur, who reached on a fielder's choice, Dave Stagg to the plate and inside to Arthur. Arthur reached on a fielder's choice, his last trip to the plate. Bottom of the third and a 4-1 Mavs lead. Nobody out yet. And Jose Cruz had a leadoff double moments ago, so he's put himself in scoring position. Stagg low and outside, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Swung on and missed as Arthur big hack. And the native of Abbotsford, BC, was looking to do some damage with that swing. And 2-1 the count. Open base at first, runner on at second. Strike 2 called as Stagg paints the outside corner in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Arthur has a chat with the home plate umpire after that strike 2 assessment. Looked like a friendly chat. 2-2 the count. Stagg looks the runner at second. Deals to the plate. Arthur hits that off the gear of Garcia, and the count remains 2-2. Jake popping out from behind the plate to go have a chat with his starting pitcher, Dave Stagg. For some of the players from down south, they're right at home here. 35 degrees Celsius at game time. That's nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Spicy one in Medicine Hat. 2-2 count, check swing. Did he? Yes, he did. And strike three, second K of the game for Dave Stagg. Third, rather. As he takes care of Brian Arthur. A tough out for the Medicine Hat Mavericks with a 3.01 average. And one down. Still one on. And Zach Johnson to the plate.
Number 28, Zach Johnson.
Zach Johnson played in a scouting league before heading back to Medicine Hat. Swift Current Indians, we touched on last night's webcast, now without the services of Jake Heisler, as he was ruled ineligible to play due to an appearance in a prior non-collegiate league. So the Tribe losing Heisler. Jose Cruz is going to try and steal third. Throw by Garcia. It was a good throw from Jake, but it was a breaking pitch from Stagg, so that pitch was slow getting to the plate, and Cruz had a really good jump on it. So the Mavs now with a runner on at third base. So Jake Heisler, who had a great start for the Swift Current Indians against the Regina Red Sox, now ruled ineligible, so he'll sadly take a plane back home and sit out the rest of the summer. Zach Johnson at the plate right now, who just returned from playing in another league. We'll await that offering, and line one right back at Dave Stagg. Kevin Zarnecki's going to track it down, throw to first, not in time, run scores. The lead is 5-1 for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Ryan Helgren at the plate.
Ryan Helgren.
The Tennessee native struck out the last time he faced Dave Stagg. Runner on at first. As Stagg unleashes a wild one over top of Garcia, and that'll advance the runner to second base. Helgren, the number 7 hitter in the Mavs batting order. Home team with a 5-1 lead here on Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Pitch to Garcia in the dirt. And the count is 2-0. Two-0 count. Stagg looks the runner at second. Inside, and strike is called. So 2-1 is the count. Lefty on righty matchup here. Andy Scott is on deck, first baseman for the Mavs. Helgren at the plate, a .291 hitter. There's no shortage of offense in this Medicine Hat lineup. Dave Stagg and the Swift Current Indians defense taxed with keeping them at bay. But the offensive floodgates have opened up early in this one. 5-1, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. Swift Current Indians did have a big come-from-behind win against the Mavs the last time these each other in Swift Current. And we're still early in this one. So don't write anyone off yet as Stagg looks the runner back to second base. Three-one count. Stagg deals to the plate and in the dirt, and a walk issued to Helgren. Colby DeVries starting to limber up in the Swift Current Indians bullpen.
24, Andy Scott.
Colby DeVries, right-handed reliever from Ripon, California. And Joe Carnahan is going to call timeout. There's plenty of foul territory here in Athletic Park, and Joe Carnahan is going to take a nice, slow walk out to have a chat with his pitcher and give Colby DeVries a chance to limber up in the Tribe bullpen. Stagg, 2 1/3 innings of work thus far. 6 hits, 5 runs. One of them earned, as the defense behind him has been less than airtight. So Dave Stagg with 2 on. High fly ball hit by Andy Scott into foul territory as Colby DeVries continues to loosen up in the Swift Current Indians bullpen. The count is 2-1 to Scott. Runners on at first and second. 5-1 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. They're trying to get a little bit more on the board. They had a 4-1 lead going into the bottom of the 8th against the Swift Current Indians this past weekend. Tribe were able to come back and win that game 12-4, so the Mavs fully aware of what the Swift Current Indians can do in one inning of work. So Dave Stagg looking the runner at first. Fritzky not in a pickoff position, though, with 2 on. And 1 down. 3-2 the count to Scott. Ground ball hit to Drew Brooks. Brooks in the glove. Bobbles. And the bases are loaded. Third error of the game committed by the Swift Current Indians. And 1 down, bases loaded. And Brody Hawkins, the catcher, makes his way to the plate. Hawkins, a .308 hitter, 3 home runs, 14 RBI. 5-1, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. 1 down here. And the Mavs threatening to blow this game open. Can Dave Stagg and the Swift Current Indians take care of Brody Hawkins, number 9 hitter? He walked the last time he was up. Hawkins thought about that high fastball but laid off, and 1-0 count. Pitch to Stagg. Hawkins hits that off the screen. And 1-1 is where we're at. Stagg outside. And it's a 2-1 count to Brody Hawkins. 5-1 the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. 1 down, bottom of the 3rd inning. Stagg the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, a single. One will score. Brakes are put on at 3rd. 6-1 Mav lead. And that'll bring Joe Carnahan out of the dugout, and that'll be the ball game for Dave Stagg. Colby DeVries is going to come on in relief for the Swift Current Indians. Stagg, 2 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, 1 earned, walked 3, struck out 3, facing 17 hitters. So Colby DeVries will come in, right-handed pitcher from Ripon, California. DeVries, this will be his 9th appearance, 2 starts on the year, 15 2/3 innings of work. He's been hit off of 18 times. 17 runs allowed, 15 of them earned. He's walked 13 and struck out 10. 0-3 on the year, and an ERA of 8.61.
Colby DeVries.
So the right-hander Colby DeVries brought in for damage control here. As Dave Stagg, his first game back after missing a few starts with strep throat. And 3 errors made behind him isn't going to help his cause out either. So Colby DeVries limbers up, first-year member of the Swift Current Indians. His brother Robbie, a member of the team this year and played for the team last year as well. Swift Current Indians' next home game will be tomorrow night when they take on the Regina Red Sox. Sox having a tough go as of late as they've lost their last 8 straight. And we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and those Regina Red Sox threatening to drop 9 in a row as they're trailing the Yorkton Cardinals 4-0 in Regina.
Number 9, the left fielder, K. Larez.
Moose Jaw Miller Express up on the Lethbridge Bulls 3-1 in Lethbridge. And the Weyburn Beavers lead the Okotoks Dogs 1-0 in Weyburn. That game's in the bottom of the 5th. In Melville, bottom of the 4th, the Melville Millionaires with a 5-4 lead on the Edmonton Prospects. Here in Medicine Hat, bottom of the 3rd inning. 6-1 is the lead for the Mavs, top of the order. And the 3rd at bat for Gabe Allairs as the Mavs have turned the order over for the 2nd time. And we're in the 3rd inning. Been playing in the 3rd inning. And for the Swift Current Indians down 6-1, this game is not flying by any means. But the fans here in Medicine Hat enjoying themselves thus far. 6-1 the score. Colby DeVries on in relief, right-handed pitcher. Pitching to Jake Garcia. Larez, infield single, and he reached on error. Fastball from DeVries just misses low. So Larez 1 for 2, but getting on base both times. Two balls and a strike. Bases are loaded. Mavs have put 2 on the board here in the 3rd and threatening for more. Colby DeVries deals to Larez. A line shot at Nick Day, bobbled. Day trips, throws home, and gets the out. Oh, my. "5-2 for the Force at home. That wasn't pretty, but we'll take it. Ryan Kemp at the plate now. Walk and a sac fly. And a run scored as well for Kemp thus far. Kemp 195 hitter. As DeVries, 1-1 count to Kemp thus far. Bases remain loaded, 2 away. Swift Current Indians with a force at home moments ago. Strike 2. Count. DeVries going after Kemp. Medicine Hat Mavs 6-1 lead. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 thus far in the third. Tribe want to limit that damage to just 2. Fly ball by Kemp, hit to Reed Fritzky. And the catch is made, and the Medicine Hat Mavericks will strand 3, but they will score 2, as they've done each inning thus far. 3 innings in the books, 6-1 Mavs. Top of 4 coming up when we return with Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball.
Many of us take our ability to communicate for granted, yet the ability to hear and be heard is much more vital to our everyday lives than we realize. If you or someone you know is struggling, please call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment with our clinical audiologist, Karen Woods. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up. Living Sky Casino. Living Sky. Live it up.
Welcome back to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball, live at Athletic Park in Medicine Hat. Landon Russo getting some run support from his Medicine Hat Maverick teammates, the starting left-handed pitcher. 1 run on the board for the Swift Current Indians, as Tyler Enns blasted one between the legs of the third baseman, with Darren Koch at third to bring a run in. Swift Current Indians are going to go 5-6-7, Zarnecki, Fritzky, Sauceda here in the top of the 4th inning. 6-1 is the lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. So Tribe looking for offense now. The lead not insurmountable, but the sun is shining and it's time to start making some hay. Kevin Zarnecki settling in to the batter's box. Zarnecki, 250 hitter, 1 home run, 8 RBI on the year. 1 for 1 this game, though, as he singled his last trip to the plate. As he pulled a shot in the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Saw something inside that he could drive, and he did so. 2-0 the count to Zarnecki in his second meeting with Landon Russo. Russo, 2-0 pitch. That'll be strike 1. Two-one pitch. Check swing by Zarnecki. Did he go? No, he didn't. Only the 2-man umpiring crew here in Medicine Hat. So they got a guy behind the plate and a guy at third. Tough to tell if a lefty hitter went around. I think he did that time. And 3-2. Three-two pitch, and Kevin Zarnecki will watch that one cross at about letter height and take a walk to first. Zarnecki on base percentage of 1,000 in this one, as he singled and walked. Reed Fritzke at the plate now for the Swift Current Indians. Reed struck out his last trip to the plate. Pitch to Fritzke finds the strike zone, 0-2 the count. Andrew Sauceda on deck for the Swift Current Indians. Fritzke 282 average on the year. Striking out to the lefty the last time they faced each other against Russo. Pitch to Fritzke, and he'll go down swinging again as he's buying what Russo's selling. And that'll be the first out of the top of the fourth. Kevin Zarnecki at first, Andrew Sauceda at the plate now for the Swift Current Indians. Jake Garcia waits on deck. First pitch to Sauceda, check swing in the dirt. Sauceda, 244 hitter on the season. This will be his 13th game as a member of the Swift Current Indians. Another late arrival that joined the Swift Current Indians for their road swing into Edmonton a few weekends ago. Sauceda hits one high to center field, and not even having to move for that one is Brian Arthur. As Sauceda put it right where the center fielder was standing. So he'll fly out to center field, and that'll bring Jake Garcia to the plate, who hit a fly ball to Ryan Kemp at second base the last time he was up. So 2 down and 1 on for the Swift Current Indians, who trail by 5. 6-1 the score for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We're in the top of the fourth. First pitch is up to Garcia. Landon Russo approaching 60 pitches for the Mavs. Shot by Garcia, and that'll be a single for Jake as Kevin Zarnecki will gallop to second base. Garcia advances to first with a single. Jake now 1 for 2. And that'll bring Drew Brooks, number 9 hitter in the Tribe batting order, to the plate. Drew Brooks walked his last trip to the dish.
The shortstop, Drew Brooks.
On the season, Brooks has walked 15 times. Second only to Tyler Enns in that statistic. Enns has gotten the pass to first 19 times. And Brooks, the youngest member of the Swift Current Indians, so showing some discipline at the plate as he's walked the second most times of any member of the Swift Current Indians. Just a few free passes behind Enns. 1-0, count to Brooks. Brooks goes about 5'7", must be that smaller strike zone. Landon Russo delivers to Brooks. It's at the feet. It gets past Hawkins, and each runner will advance a station. As galloping to third is Kevin Zarnecki. Advancing to second is Jake Garcia. Zarnecki walked. Garcia singled moments ago. Darren Koch waits on deck, top of the order for the Swift Current Indians. Potentially coming to the plate this inning. We'll see what Drew Brooks does with 2 out and 2 on. Hits a high fly ball. And the shortstop, Blake Rowlett, calls everyone off, and Brooks will fly out to short. That'll do it for the Swift Current Indians. They will strand a couple. Bottom of the fourth coming up. The Tribe trails 6-1. Colby DeVries on the mound and the Tribe in the field when we return with Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball.
Saying goes,
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
The Hearing Place is proud to continue their support of the Swift Current Indians Baseball Club. Located conveniently in the Swift Current City Plaza, Hearing Place is your #1 stop for hearing healthcare in Southwest Saskatchewan. Don't compromise on your hearing. Get tested by our qualified audiologist, Karen Woods. Call the Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment today. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Welcome back to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball at Athletic Park in Medicine Hat. Swift Current Indians trailing 6-1. Tribe have made 3 errors, have had 3 hits. The Mavs, 6 runs on 7 hits. Colby DeVries coming on to work his second inning of the ball game. DeVries, first hitter he'll face is Blake Rowlett. Mavs put 2 runs on the board every inning of this game thus far. We're in the 4th, and the Tribe will try and keep them at bay. Rowlett, first pitch, no intention of swinging that at all. He only had one hand on the bat, and 0-1 the count. Colby DeVries delivers. High heat as that crossed about eye level. 6-1 the Tribe trail here in Medicine Hat. 3rd meeting of the year between these two teams. First trip to Medicine Hat for the Swift Current Indians as a shot by Rowlett goes right past Fritzky at first, and he's going to gallop to second. Ackerman with the throw off target, and it's a stand-up double for Rowlett to get things going for the Medicine Hat Mavericks here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Shot that hopped over Fritzky at first. And Rowlett, .315 hitter, improves his stats, and now it's Jose Cruz. Cruz 1 for 2, doubling his last trip to the plate. Colby DeVries looks the runner at second. High fastball to Cruz, just above the letters. And it's a 1-0 count to the right fielder from the Bronx. Brian Arthur on deck for the Mavs. Cruz in limited at-bats. This is the 15th game that he's played this year. He's hitting .392. Hits a ground ball to Nick Day. That's in the glove. He'll look the runner at second. And they'll tag the runner at second as he was well off the base. A good heads-up play by Nick Day. Cruz will reach on a fielder's choice. But at second base was Rowlett, and well off the bag. Good nonverbal communication by Nick Day and Kevin Zarnecki to combine to get that out. So Cruz limited to a fielder's choice. Runner at second is eliminated. Still a guy at first for the Tribe to contend with. 1 down for Colby DeVries and the Swift Current Indians. He's reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. Arthur has. Native of Abbotsford, BC. 1 down, Cruz on. Cruz 2 for 3 on the season in stolen bases in limited action for the Mavs. And we'll see if he tries to electrify here. Pitch low to Garcia. One-0 count. DeVries. Quick look to the runner at first, which is Cruz. Cruz in motion. Ball's dropped by Garcia. Sliding in to second is Cruz. Stolen base number 3 on the year for the outfielder. 2-0 pitch. Strike one called. DeVries pounding the strike zone. So now with 2 balls and a strike, Arthur will step out of the batter's box and think about what he might see from Colby DeVries. 6-1 the score. 1 down. Fastball is up. Some velocity on that pitch from DeVries. But up and away, and 3-1 the count to Brian Arthur. Zach Johnson on deck, who's 2 for 2. Johnson, a former member of the Okotoks Dogs. Played in a scouting league earlier this year before coming back to Medhat. Ground ball hit to Kevin Zarnecki. He'll field that 2-hopper and get it over to Reed Fritzke. And that'll be out number 2. Jose Cruz does advance to third. And Zach Johnson at the plate now.
At the DH, Zach Johnson.
So Johnson, 2 for 2 with 3 RBI thus far in this game. He's also scored a run. First pitch low and outside to Garcia as dust is kicked up on this dry, hot Alberta night in Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat Mavericks won a league championship at this facility this past August. They're in a 3-way battle in that WNBL Alberta division with the Okotoks Dogs and Edmonton Prospects as Johnson rips one down the third baseline, but that's foul. Zach Johnson from Cranbrook, BC, former member of the Dogs, started the year off in that scouting league, was let go from that league. Dogs didn't have a spot on their roster for him, so he came to play in Medhat. 1-1 pitch. Oh, look out. Coming in hot, DeVries. High and inside. And it's a 2-1 count. Swung on and missed. That'll be strike 2. Johnson early this season, 3 for 4 at the plate. This is the second game he's appeared in. Third at bat this game, but 3 for 4 already this year for the Medhat Mavericks. Already making an impact. 2-2 pitch. Colby DeVries will get him swinging, and that'll be strike 3. And the Swift Current Indians managed to keep the Medicine Hat Mavericks off the board. They strand a man at third, and that'll do it for the 4th inning. Top of 5 coming up. It's a 6-1 Mavs lead. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle, $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the lower club. That'll get you 3 baseball games plus rooms, and the trip is guaranteed. Also ask about a cruise trip in February of 2016 and their 7 Disneyland trips. Excel Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
Jose Cruz now playing shortstop. Devin Johnson now playing left field.
So the Medicine Hat Mavericks mixing things up a little bit. Blake Rowlett is out of the game. Jose Cruz moves to short. And Devin Johnson moves in to play the field where Jose Cruz was. So the Medicine Hat Mavericks up 6-1 in the 5th, making a few small lineup changes. Top of the order for the Swift Current Indians, Darren Koch. He struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. Landon Russo still going for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, and why wouldn't he? Swift Current Indians have one run off of him. Chopped by Koch, foul. Russo has thrown pitches 64 and 65 of the ball game to Koch in this exchange here. 1-1 the count. Darren Koch, lefty on lefty. Gets on top of one and hits it to the second baseman, Ryan Kemp, in the glove and over to first. Koch grounds out to the second baseman, and that'll do it for the Swift Current Indians leadoff hitter. Tyler Enns up now.
Brought to you by Budget Blinds, Canada's #1 choice for custom window covering.
Enns had an RBI that was an error through the third baseman.
Tyler Enns.
So 2 at-bats, 0 for 2 is Enns, but he does have an RBI this game. Enns sitting .238 now on the season as Russo delivers to Enns, lefty on righty, and strike 1. It's a hot night in Medicine Hat. Tyler Enns is the beer batter, and the crowd loudly rooting against the Swift Current Indians center fielder from Winnipeg. Count is 0-2 after Enns drills it into the backstop. Oh, 2 count. 6-1 the score for the Mavs. Just a bit outside. 1-2 to Enns. Nate Ackerman is on deck. Enns the lone RBI for the Swift Current Indians. Enns with a shot, hit into right field. And making the catch is Johnson. Or pardon me, that's Lairs in right field. Devin Johnson playing left. Enns flies out to right field. And Nate Ackerman up. He's singled and walked in his last 2 trips to the plate. The sun setting in the western sky over the prairie town of Medicine Hat. And with that sun setting, could create some fly ball adventures for the first baseman and right field, given where Athletic Park is situated. Ackerman checks his swing, and it's strike 1. 0-1 the count to Nate. 1 for 1 with a walk. Ackerman's batting average now .372 on the season. 4 home run, 15 RBI. And 0-2. There's Landon Russo going right after Ackerman. Russo deals, swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3. And it's 3 up, 3 down for the Swift Current Indians in the top of the 5th inning. 6-1, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
Many of us take our ability to communicate for granted, yet the ability to hear and be heard is much more vital to our everyday lives than we realize. If you or someone you know is struggling, please call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment with our clinical audiologist, Karen Woods. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Your children to the Meany Mavericks camp.
Welcome back to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the action from Athletic Medicine Hat. Former home of the Medicine Hat Blue Jays of the Pioneer League, a rookie league affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. Current Mavs owner Greg Morrison was a standout with the Medicine Hat Blue Jays back when they played here. They ceased operations in 2002 in the Toronto Blue Jays with the Medicine Hat squad. And it wasn't long after that the Medicine Hat Mavericks of the WNBL were born. The Mavs, 2014 WNBL champions, and I do believe they won in 2003. I know the Mavs and Swift Current Indians played in the 2005 league final. That was a memorable best-of-3 series. Swift Current Indians took Game 1 at home. Medicine Hat Mavericks walked off in Game 2 in the bottom of the 11th before the Tribe had a scintillating win at home in that best-of-3 2005 championship. Medicine Hat Mavericks returned the favor last year, though, beating the Swift Current Indians in 2014. I remember there were streakers that night, Mitchell Field, in 2005. It was cold out, too. 6-1 the score. Medicine Hat Mavericks up on the Swift Current Indians. Jose Cruz, oh no, pardon me, that's Ryan Helgren here for the Mavs. 1-1 the count. Colby DeVries coming on in relief for the Swift Current Indians. He's gone 1.2 innings thus far. High heat blown past Helgren. Helgren has struck out and walked in this game. Colby DeVries has struck out one, allowing one hit in his 1.2 innings of work. This will be the 7th Medicine Hat hitter that he's faced. DeVries, the 1-2 pitch. Slider that stays inside. Righty on righty. And slider broke, but didn't break enough to get over the plate. And 2-2 the count. Fastball this time low and away. And it'll be a full count to Helgren. Helgren on the year, 291 hitter. DeVries delivers. Helgren going to foul that off the roof here. Just over top. And the count remains 3-2. On deck is Andy Scott. And Helgren will get a walk. DeVries won't be happy with himself. And Andy Scott, local product from right here in Medicine Hat. 0 for 2. He reached on error the last time he was up. Swift Current Indians with 3 errors thus far. 1 on and nobody out. Colby DeVries was visibly upset with himself for issuing that 7-pitch walk moments ago. He'll need to settle down and maintain his composure here. First pitch to Scott. Just misses low. And it's a 1-0 count. DeVries takes his time with that runner at first. Goes to the plate. No doubter. Fastball right down the middle. Evening things out at 1-1 to Scott. Scott hits 8th in the Mavs batting order. Brody Hawkins is on deck. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. Foul. And 1-2 the count now. Good jump at first by Helgren. Already 3/4 of the way to second base. Wasn't sure if that was an attempted hit and run or not. And 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Garcia. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-1, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it on Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. High fly ball. Kevin Zarnicki's going to venture into the outfield and try and make the play, and he does, grabbing that one just in front of Nate Ackerman. So Scott will fly out to the second baseman.
Catcher Brody Hawkins.
And that'll bring Brody Hawkins to the plate. Walked and an RBI single. That's what Hawkins has done thus far, hitting .316 on the year. Strike one called. See down towards the Swift Current Indians bullpen area. A.J. McElderry doing his calisthenics. Series of bizarre rituals for McElderry is a high fly ball. That's going to be hit over top of Athletic Park and out. McElderry, a character guy for the Swift Current Indians. We see him down there stretching in the bullpen. He'll warm up in the bullpen for a couple innings, and then he'll actually throw an inning, and then go back in the bullpen and throw some more. There's no time for downtime for McElderry. I don't know if they plan on using AJ this game. He did pitch last night against the Moose Jaw Miller Express. AJ may just be stretching down there just because he's been sitting all day, both in the bullpen and at the bus. DeVries. 0-2 the count here. As he delivers a pitch that's fouled off. As Brody Hawkins, count remains 0-2. There it is. Got an extra fan at this game. Look at that. Out in right field. Trying to get a look at the action. Out on that new berm. Nice white-tailed deer. 2-1 the count. Oh, security's going to go after him and make him pay admission. He's going to skedaddle out of here.
5S missing. If you have found it, please take it to the Mavericks office now. Thank you.
One and two the count. 2-2 to Brody Hawkins. 1 out and 1 on for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Bottom of the fifth inning. 6-1 they lead it. Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians Baseball, live on the Swift Current Indians website and YouTube channel. We're doing it all again tomorrow night. Regina Red Sox are in town. And then back in Medicine Hat Saturday night. As another offering's fouled off, and the count will remain 2-2. And then the Tribe go to Weyburn. Doubleheader on Sunday beginning at 2:05. The Tribe have got a rain delay game to make up there, so they'll do 2 sevens on Sunday. And then Monday night in Weyburn as well. So the Tribe had Monday and Tuesday off, and it'll be a grueling schedule for the foreseeable future for the Swift Current Indians. Staying alive is Brody Hawkins, as he's going to make Colby DeVries throw it all at him. Two-two pitch. It's in the dirt, 3-2. Hawkins fell behind 0-2, and the number 9 hitter battled back. Hawkins with a .316 average on the year. Three home runs, 14 RBI included in that .316. So Colby DeVries with one down, trying to eliminate Hawkins. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. 6-1, the Mavs lead it. Colby DeVries deals. Another foul ball. Unplayable. Pitch number 10 of this exchange with Hawkins moments ago. Full count, 3-2. Will this be the pitch that decides this at bat? And it is. DeVries walks him. Second walk of the game, and a solid at bat for Brody Hawkins.
Top of the order for your Mavericks.
And yeah, they turn the order over.
Number 9, Gabe Larris.
Gabe Larris, infield single, and he reached on error. So 2 on and 1 out. Colby DeVries looks the runner at second. Deals to Lairs. Lairs opposite field shot, foul. A shot to the grassy knoll. One hopper fielded by a youngster out there. A long strikeout of that deal for Colby DeVries and the Swift Current Indians. They're going to need more late-game magic against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. They had a 10-run inning, all 10 runs coming with 2 outs the last time these teams met each other this past weekend. That was in Swift. They may need a similar outing here against the Mavs.
Brian Kunkel to the Mavericks office, please. Brian Kunkel, please.
0-2 the count to Larris. Larris hitting .302 on the year. Double play ball. Yeah, that would be ideal for DeVries and the Swift Current Indians. 0-2. Slider stays up. 1-2. Ryan Kemp on deck. Kemp's walked, had a sac fly, and flown out. Colby DeVries checks the runner at second. Ground ball hit to Kevin Zarnecki. He stops it, picks it up, double clutches, and not in time. And that's the kind of night it's been for the Swift Current Indians.
Number 2, Ryan Kemp.
And they're officially going to score that an error on Kevin Zarnecki, so Gabe Lairs for the second time will reach on error. In 4th E assessed to the Swift Current Indians. And Ryan Kemp with the bases loaded and 1 out. We'll try and come up big for the Mavs here. Colby DeVries. Can he get his Swift Current Indians out of a jam? Kemp. Pitch looks chubby, and he hits that one towards the parking lot in foul territory. Colby DeVries just over 50 pitches in his 2 innings of work. 0-1 to Kemp. Straightens that one out and hits a fly ball to Drew Brooks at short. And Brooks will make the grab. Everyone stays put for the Mavs.
Devin Johnson.
And Devin Johnson, his first at bat of the game, coming in to play right field. As the Mavs did some defensive mix and match after they went up by 5. So Johnson hitting .322 on the season. A good substitution option. So 0-1 the count to Johnson. Johnson on the year, .322, 1 home run, 13 RBI. This is his 17th game of the year. Fouls one off and not happy with himself for doing so, as that's playable for Nick Day, and he will make the catch in foul territory. Devin Johnson flies out to the third baseman, and the Medicine Hat Mavericks strand 3. Swift Current Indians got into a jam, but they got out of it. No harm done. 5 innings in the books. Top of the 6th coming up. Tribe need to get some offense going. It's a 6-1 Mavs lead. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Living Sky Casino. Living Sky. Live it up.
It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up.
Living Sky Casino. Living Sky. Live it up.
The old saying goes,
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
Well, they're down 5 runs, but the Swift Current Indians' spirits are high. We'll try and get some offense rolling here as Nick Day steps up to the plate. 4, 5, 6 in the Swift Current Indians order. Day, Jarnecki, and Fritzky. Day's flown out and grounded into a double play. He'd love to get some offense rolling for the Swift Current Indians.
4, 5, 6 batters due up.
Top of the 6th inning.
Sixth inning.
Tribe will be back in Swift Current tomorrow hosting the Regina Red Sox. Checking the WMBL out-of-town scoreboard. Yorkton Carr lead on those Red Sox in Regina in the bottom of the 7th. Regina drops that one. They will have lost 9 in a row. Moose Jaw Miller Express leading the Lethbridge Bulls 4-3 at the top of the 7th in Lethbridge. The Weyburn Beavers have a 4-2 lead on the Okotoks Dogs in Weyburn. That game in the bottom of the 7th. And in the top of the 8th, Melville Millionaires and Edmonton Prospects tied at 5 in the big, beautiful city of Melville. High fly ball hit by Nick Day. Hit back, and that heifer will escape the ranch. Nick Day solo bomb, his second dinger in as many games, and the Swift Current Indians take a bite into that lead. Now 6-2. As Nick Day launches one to right center.
Zarnicki, number 9, the second baseman.
So 6-2 the lead right now for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Nick Day narrows the gap. Tribe still with a sizable hill to climb. Landon Russo delivers to Zarnecki, who gets underneath it and hits a high fly ball. And underneath that to make the grab is Ryan Helgren. So Zarnecki will fly out to the third baseman after that Nick Day home run, an oppo bomb for Nick. His third nuke of the year. As that was deposited just over to 365 in right center side.
First baseman.
Reed Fritzky, 0 for 2, striking out the last 2 times he faced Landon Russo. Russo deals, high and inside to Fritter. Landon Russo closing in on 80 pitches. We're in the 6th, top of. Starting pitcher for the Mavs. And he misses to Fritzky low, 2-1. Andrew Sauceda on deck. Fritzky 0 for 2 this game. Reed gets underneath that and hits it to left field. Tracking that down is Johnson. A well-hit ball by Fritzky. Made good contact. You got to keep in mind, down the left field line, it is deeper in Medicine Hat.
Andrew Sauceda.
350 down the left field line where it's normally 325. As Reed Fritzke, perhaps robbed by the dimensions of Athletic Park, as he hit that one deep. But nonetheless, flies out to left field. Andrew Sauceda up, strike one. Sauceda 0 for 2, as he's ground out, and flounded out. Flown out. Hey, heat's getting to everyone here. Sauceda gets a piece of that ball and redirects it into the paraphernalia of Hawkins behind the plate. Now a 6-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavs, as Nick Day has narrowed the gap to 4. His 3rd homer of the year. 0-2 to Sauceda. And that'll be strike 3 as Russo freezes Sauceda. Swift Current Indians 1 hit of the home run variety. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Mavs lead at 6-2 after that Nick Day homer. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Hearing Place is proud to continue their support of the Swift Current Indians Baseball Club. Located conveniently in the Swift Current City Plaza, the Hearing Place is your #1 stop for hearing healthcare in Southwest Saskatchewan. Don't compromise on your hearing. Get tested by our qualified audiologist, Karen Woods. Call the Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment today. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle, $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the lower club. That'll get you 3 baseball games plus rooms, and the trip is guaranteed. Also ask about a cruise trip in 16 and their 7 Disneyland trips. Excel Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians.
Tribe will head back to Swift Current tonight. Play the hapless Regina Red Sox tomorrow night at Mitchell Field. Regina Red Sox trailing the Yorkton Cardinals 5-2 late in Regina. Red Sox close to losing 9 in a row. Some good players on that team in Regina. Well-coached team in Scotty Douglas, just as of late the wheels falling off the wagon. Tribe had a 2-game win streak coming into Medicine Hat tonight, but that's in jeopardy as they trail the Mavs 6-2. Bottom of the 6th inning, Jose Cruz, who started the game in right field but is now playing short for the Mavs, makes his way to the dish.
Right fielder number 10, Jose Cruz.
I'd like to welcome everyone joining the webcast, wherever you may be watching from and whomever you may be cheering for, whether you're a friend or family member of the Swift Current Indians, fan of either team, or perhaps a family member of the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We welcome you to our webcast. Thanks for bearing with us through some early technical difficulties. Knock on wood that the gremlins have made their way out of the system. 100-degree day, and we had gear that overheated. We'll get the Snowstreaker engineering staff to work on the prototype for a cooling unit for Saturday's game here against Medicine Hat. That one's supposed to be even hotter, isn't it? Maybe. As hot. Tomorrow night, the Tribe hosting the Regina Red Sox, and then back here in Medicine Hat on Saturday. Colby DeVries working against Jose Cruz, 2-1 the count. Make it 3-1 as the high cheddar is not swung at by Cruz, the native of the Bronx. 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, 6-2 the score for Med Hat. And that'll be a walk for Cruz, as he'll be walked in 5. Cruz has struck out, doubled, reached on a fielder's choice, and now walked. Brian Arthur to the plate for Med Hat.
19, Brian Arthur.
Arthur 0 for 3 this game. Reached on a fielder's choice, struck out and grounded out. On the year, a 301 hitter, nobody out, and a runner on at first. Medicine Hat had a 6-1 lead going into the top of the sixth. Nick Day hit a home run. Cruz in motion. Throw from Garcia, just slightly off target. And that'll be another swipe bag for Jose Cruz. His 4th of the year and 2nd of the game. Hit and run was on, and a strike to Brian Arthur. Arthur takes a big hack. And the count is 0-2. So Colby DeVries ahead of Brian Arthur. Zach Johnson in the on-deck area. Johnson with 3 RBI thus far. Struck out the last time he was up, though. Colby DeVries has a look at Jose Cruz. And a comebacker just past the outstretched glove. Tyler Enns corrals that in center field, and he'll hurry that in before Jose Cruz can come around to score. But a solid single by Brian Arthur as he buzzed the control tower of Colby DeVries, hitting that one right back towards the pitcher. And nobody out and runners on the corners. A familiar scenario in this game that the Swift Current Indians have had to deal with. DeVries. First pitch. And it's a 1-0 count. Yeah, we've gone just over 2 hours in this one. We're going about 3 innings an hour here. So I don't know. Expect us to be done maybe between 10 and 10:30. 2-hour bus ride back to Swifty after a quick bite to eat. Boys will probably be rolling in tonight between 1 and 2. 2-hour drive down the Trans-Canada. Dodging antelope along the way. 2-0 pitch is up. This is Zach Johnson at the plate. Credit where credit's due. RBI single that scored 2 in the first. RBI single that scored 1 in the third. And Jake Garcia is going to have a quick chat with Colby DeVries. Swift Current Indians warming up Bryce Bush. And Joe Carnahan is going to make his way out of the dugout in slow Joe Carnahan fashion to allow Bryce Bush a chance to warm up. Bryce Bush with a bizarre statistic last night. He got the win for the Swift Current Indians in a 5-4 game against the Moose Jaw Miller Express despite not throwing a pitch. Bush was brought in with 2 out, runner on at second. Before throwing a pitch, he picked the runner off at second base and then left the game after that in favor of Bob St. Pierre after the Swift Current Indians put up that Nick Day home run in the bottom of that inning. So Bryce Bush coming in and getting 1 out in the 8th. Didn't throw a pitch in doing so. Was the pitcher of record. So the win last night for Bush despite not throwing a pitch. So he should be fresh and good to go tonight. I asked him this morning how the wing was feeling after that big win last night. He just chuckled. So the fresh arm of Arizona native Bryce Bush, an option, as Colby DeVries is going to walk Zach Johnson and put runners on first, second, and third with nobody out. Medicine Hat Mavericks lead at 6-2, and they're threatening for more here. Ryan Helgren at the plate, the Tennessee native, has struck out and walked twice in his previous 3 at-plate endeavors. DeVries to the plate, fastball, right over the dish. 0-1 the count to Helgren. .291 batting average. He's got 2 homers and 15 RBI. 0-1 pitch. DeVries goes right after him for strike 2. Couple of fastball strikes right over the plate. And Helgren will tighten up that swing with nobody out and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 6-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. The 0-2, fouled off by Helgren. Colby DeVries just misses over the plate. And 1-2 the count. Swift Current Indians infield on the corners. Reed Fritzky on the grass. So is Nick Day. Swung on and missed. That'll be strike 3 as Helgren will go down swinging. And DeVries striking out a hitter when he needed to with the bases loaded. And now Joe Carnahan's going to head out, take the baseball from Colby DeVries. And it'll be Bryce Bush's turn. Colby DeVries too thrilled about this move. Body language. He just struck a guy out. He'd like to clean up his own mess here, but that'll be Bryce Bush's job now. So Bryce Bush making his way into this ball game. We talked about it. Winning pitcher last night despite not throwing a pitch. This will be his 3rd appearance, all in relief. 1 1/3 innings of work. No hits, no runs, no errors. He's walked 1. Hasn't struck out any. And he's 1-0 on the season. ERA of 0. Bases are loaded. 1 out. Bush will have to throw a pitch this time around. Nelson Quark, who's been utilized as a starter for the Swift Current Indians, is now heating up in the Tribe bullpen.
Right-handed reliever, 17, Bryce Bush.
Bush, a former member of the Saskatoon Yellow Jackets. He was utilized as a closer by the Jackets, had 7 saves in an 18-win season in 2013 for the Jackets. Right-handed pitcher. Mid-80s fastball, limbering up. He's going to be facing Andy Scott with the bases loaded and 1 down. Scott, a 182 hitter with 2 home runs and 11 RBI. As Bryce Bush warms up, we'll give a shout out to Emily, close friend of Bryce, enjoying this game in Georgia. Thank you for tuning in to Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians Baseball, Emily. So Bush comes in with the bases loaded, a little damage control to navigate.
We can call it 50-50 right now. It's worth $490. Winning 50-50 numbers are 22507.
Andy Scott's grounded out, reached on air, and flown out.
07 for $50. Now batting number 24, Andy Scott.
Andy Scott now for the Med Hat down, 3 on. Bryce Bush coming in relief. Quick delivery to the plate by Bush. Ground ball hit to Drew Brooks in the glove. Double clutch throw over to first, taking Fritzky off the bag. Ball is thrown away. 1 comes in to score. 2 will come in to score. And it's an 8-2 lead. As Andy Scott will get to second base on the throwing error. As Drew Brooks fielded that one on his backhand, and the throw took Reed Fritzky off the bag. And that baseball careened into foul territory. And And the Swift Current Indians defense tonight, that's error number 5 charged to them. It has not been an airtight game. Hawkins 2 walks and an RBI single. Runners on at second and third. 8-2 the score for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Bush looks the runner at second. Delivers a slider to the plate. And Hawkins way out in front of it as he was expecting something with a little bit more gas. And Bryce Bush throws deception and strike 1. Bush, right-handed pitcher from Arizona. Gets a signal that he likes from Jake Garcia. Goes back to that slider. Grounder hit to Drew Brooks. Hit under Drew Brooks. 1 scores. Runners on the corners. 9-2 Mavs. Top of the order, and Gabe Laris due up now for Med Hat. That's 6 errors on the right side of your screen. Tells the tale. 9-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And the Tribe looking for an elusive second out as the Mavs have put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the 6th. Bush just misses low. And it's a 1-0 count. Bush 1-0 pitch, not before a quick pickoff move to first. Good quick move by Bush, quickly turning his body 180 degrees. Getting that throw over to Fritzky. Kick, delivery, ground ball. Past Nick Day at third. 10-2. Four runs put up.
Number 2, Ryan Kemp.
Ryan Kemp at the plate. Sac fly RBI for him in this game. He's flown out a couple times and also walked. Runners on at second and third. Bush finds the strike zone. 10-2, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. Bottom of the 6th inning. Tribe in their road blues. Looking for a second out here. In what's been a very, very tough 6th inning, bottom of. Nick Day hit a home run in the top of the 6th. A solo shot. And a slider for a strike thrown by Bush, and it's 0-2 to Kemp. Bryce Bush gets a signal he likes from Jake Garcia. Quick look at the runner at second. 0-2 the count to Kemp. Bush delivers. Fastball. Hit by Kemp into right field. Nate Ackerman makes the catch. Second out. And coming to the plate is Devin Johnson. He flew out to third baseman Nick Day the last time he was up.
13, Devin Johnson.
So 2 out. Runners on at first and second. Bush looks the runner at second. Fastball, towering fly ball. And that's not going to leave the infield. Kevin Zarnecki underneath it, and he will make the grab as Johnson flies out to the second baseman. But the Medicine Hat Mavericks touch up the Swift Current Indians and put 4 on the board. They take advantage of Tribe errors and plate 4. 10-2 the score after 6. Top of the 7th coming up when we return to Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle. $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the lower club. That'll get you 3 baseball games plus rooms, and the trip is guaranteed. Also ask about a cruise trip in February of 2016 and their 7 Disneyland trips. Excel Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
That's relief pitcher Talon Kunkel coming in, right-handed pitcher from Saskatoon. This is his 11th appearance of the season. 21 innings of work. He surrendered 25 hits, 16 runs, 10 of them earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 14. He is 4-0 on the year, all in relief. 4.28 ERA for Talon Kunkel. He'll come in after Landon Russo gave the Medicine Hat Mavericks 6. 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, and Russo walked 3 and struck out 5 along the way, and faced 25 hitters. 8-9-1 due up for the Swift Current Indians. Jake Garcia, Drew Brooks, and Darren Kolk deployed to the plate for the Tribe. Talon Kunkel in that sidearm, old school delivery, and we'll see if the Swift Current Indians have an answer for it. Tribe down by 8. I would say that's insurmountable, but they have put up 10 runs in 1 inning against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Anything can happen. As the homer announcer for the Swift Current Indians, that's what we're clinging to right now. Jake Garcia will come to the plate wearing Cole Armstrong's number 5. So Talon Kunkel, his 11th appearance of the season in relief. Top of the 7th inning.
One batters due up for the Tribe in their half of the 7th inning. Number 5, Jake Garcia.
Garcia's flown out and singled. 1 for 2 on the night for Jake. Drew Brooks on deck. Talon Kunkel delivers to Garcia. First pitch is a strike. As he whips that in from down under. And 0-1 the count. Kunkel, right-handed pitcher. Rising pitch. Releases that ball from about a foot off the ground. And it rose into the strike zone. So count 0-2 to Garcia. Kunkel. Another rising pitch. And it's just a little bit north of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. Talon Kunkel. Just a little bit outside to Jake. Ground ball by Garcia. And that's foul. So count remains 2-2. Garcia working against Talon Kunkel. Kunkel's brother Dolan, relief pitcher with the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Family ties in the WNBL. 2-2 count. Kunkel delivers to Garcia, and another foul ball down the first base line. And another 2-2 pitch to Garcia, forthcoming here on Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Happy you could join us. 10-2, the Medicine Hat Mavericks lead it. That's going to be strike. Well, it's a piece of it by Garcia. And the count remains 2-2. So Garcia lives to see another pitch from Kunkel. Ground ball hit to Ryan Kemp at second. That's in the glove and over to first. And Garcia put out via the 4-3. Drew Brooks, he's walked and flown out.
For Drew Brooks, shortstop.
Number 9 hitter for the Tribe. Darren Koch and the top of the order on deck for the Swift Current Indians. A hot, dry day in Medicine Hat. Things cooling off now. But 35 degrees Celsius at game time. It's a 100-degree day for you. And a 1-0 count to Drew Brooks. To Alan Kunkel. Whips that sidearm delivery in. And it's a 2-0 count. Swung on and missed. And 2-1 the count. Medicine Hat Mavericks starting an overhand lefty in Landon Russo. And now the Swift Current Indians dealing with a sidearm righty as that pitch comes from way out west. And that'll be ball 3 to Drew Brooks. That inside pitch didn't miss by much. Good eye by Brooks. And it's a hitter's count, 3-1. Kunkel delivers. Brooks, hard ball along the ground, but right at Ryan Kemp. And that'll do it for the Swift Current Indians shortstop. Has 2 consecutive hitters have hit ground balls to the second baseman, Kemp. Darren Koch, top of the order for the Swift Current Indians, up now. Tribe continuing to warm up Nelson Quark. One 1-0 pitch to Koch. And a big swing and strike 1. Tyler Wren's on deck. He's got one of the Swift Current Indians' RBIs this game. The other one, a solo home run from Nick Day. His 3rd of the year. Koch swings and misses. And 1-2 the count to the native of Duncan, BC. Koch with 3 home runs on the year. Opposite field shot by Koch, hit deep to left field. Underneath that is Devin Johnson, and the catch is made just in front of the warning track. So Koch flies out to left. 3 up, 3 down for the Swift Current Indians in their half of the 7th inning. Bottom of 7 coming up. It's a 10-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We'll be back shortly with Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball.
Take our ability to communicate for granted, yet the ability to hear and be heard is much more vital to our everyday lives than we realize. If you or someone you know is struggling, please call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment with our clinical audiologist, Karen Woods. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up.
Living Sky Casino. Living Sky. Live it up.
For the Swift Current Indians is number 7, Nelson Quark.
So Bryce Bush gave the Swift Current Indians 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 1 run, not on his dime. Didn't walk any, didn't strike out any, and Bush faced 5 hitters. Nelson Quark will come in for the Swift Current Indians. More recently, Quark been utilized in a relief role, as the Swift Current Indians have fallen short on arms from time to time. 7 appearances on the year, 6 starts for Nelson, 32.1 innings of work. He's allowed 25 hits, 20 runs, 16 of them earned. He struck out 22. 2 for 2 on the year is Nelson, a starter, with a 4.45 ERA. So 2 and 2 respectable numbers on a team that's 10 and 18. Quark coming in on relief. It'll be Cruz, Arthur, Zach Johnson for the Mavs. That's 4, 5, 6 in their batting order. We're in the bottom of the 7th and a 10-2 Medicine Hat lead here on Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball. We're glad you could join us. Ground ball hit to Drew Brooks in the glove, over to first for the 6-3. And that'll do it for Jose Cruz as he grounds out to short. Brian Arthur to the plate for Medicine Hat with 1 down here. Nelson Cruz, the Winnipeg native. First season with the Swift Current Indians.
19, Brian Arthur.
Arthur on the game, 1 for 4. He's reached on a fielder's choice, struck out, grounded out, and he did single the last time he was up. (10-2) the score. Nelson Quark trying to stop the bleeding for the Swift Current Indians. Fastball from Nelson with some zip on it. And 0-1. Tribe taking on the Regina Red Sox tomorrow night at Mitchell Field. As Arthur fouls one off. Slices that foul. Checking the WNBL out-of-town scoreboard. Regina Red Sox, bottom of the 9th, clawing it back, or trying to claw back against the Yorkton Cardinals. 5-3, the Cards lead it. If Regina loses that, that'll be 9 losses in a row going into tomorrow night's game in Swift. Top of the 8th, the Lethbridge Bulls have come from behind and overtaken the Moose Jaw Miller Express. 9-5 is the score in that ball game. In the top of the 8th, Weyburn Beavers just wrapped up a 5-2 win over the Okotoks Dogs in Weyburn. And in the bottom of the 9th, extra innings looming. Edmonton Prospects and Melville Millionaires are tied at 5 in Melville. Foul ball hit to Nick Day. He'll catch that, and Arthur will fly out to the third baseman. Second out of the bottom of the 7th. Zach Johnson. Nope, Manny De Leon is going to hit instead. Zach Johnson coming out of this game after he had an RBI single that scored 2, another RBI single that scored 1. He struck out and walked last time he was up as well. So De Leon comes in, hitting 174, 23 at-bats and 4 hits. 1-0 the count. Mavs up by 8. And starting to give everyone a chance to play here. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th on Full Line Ag, Swift Current Indians baseball. Nelson Quark delivers to De Leon. He'll foul that off of his person. And 1-1 the count. One pitch. Righty on lefty. De Leon. Up and out. And 2-1 the count. Ryan Helgren still warming up on deck. He'll stay in this ball game. 2-1 pitch. Quark to De Leon. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. De Leon from San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. 2-2 pitch as Quark winds and fires. Ground ball hit to Drew Brooks. And that took a funny hop on Drew. And De Leon with a pinch hit single to get himself at first base. Ryan Helgren up, Tennessee native, has struck out twice and walked twice. So this at bat, a rubber match of sorts. 2 Ks, 2 walks against Helgren. Runner on at first with 2 out. Nobody warming up in the Swift Current Indians bullpen. This is Quark's game to finish out here so far. Strike 1 called. Pitch in the dirt from Quark. Count is 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning and a 10-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Manny De Leon, the runner at first. There's 2 down. Quark delivered. Check swing by Helgren. And it's a 3-1 count. So the 3-1 forthcoming as Quark deals. And there's a shot hit to left field. That'll one-hop Andrew Sauceda. A solid single from Helgren. And now Andy Scott to the plate. Scott 1 for 4. He scored once.
Number 21, Jake Bedolkin.
And he's got an RBI, but Scott won't bat now. Another substitution for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. As Jake Benolkin will make his way to the plate, hitting where Scott was. Benolkin out of Belton, Texas, 182 hitter on the year. 44 at-bats on the season, 8 hits. Hitting from the left side of the plate against the righty Nelson Quark. So 2 on and 2 out here. Tribe looking for an elusive third out this inning. As Quark looks the runner at second. Delivers to the plate. And that's hit into the stands. And 1-1 the count. Jake Benolkin, 182 hitter. 1 home run, though, and 3 RBIs. Native of Belton, Texas, big hack. And that's hit foul down the third base line. Count is 1-2. Runners at first and second make their way back. Medicine Hat Mavericks in a dogfight in that WNBL Alberta division. The Bulls running away with things in Lethbridge as Benolkin singles up the middle. That's corralled by Tyler Enns. And the runner is rounding third and heading for home. And Manny De Leon makes it 11-2 as he scurried home after Enns grabbed that ball. And the lead is now 9 for the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Into the game for your Mavericks, 27, Mitchell Doucette.
And Mitch Doucette will come in to hit and presumably catch where Brody Hawkins was. Doucette, 13 games, 78 at-bats. He's got 24 hits, a .308 hitter. Medicine Hat Mavericks are a team that certainly has some depth. Their reserves are all hitting over 300. Well, not all of them. Jake Benolkin padding his stats moments ago, a .182 hitter going into that at-bat before that RBI single. So 11-2 is the lead. Jake Benolkin with a single to center field that scored a And after the Swift Current Indians beat the Medicine Hat Mavericks 12-4 in Swift Current this past weekend, the Mavericks looking to return the favor here. (11-2) is the lead. High fly ball. Andrew Sauceda in left field positions himself underneath it and makes the catch. As Doucette flies out to left field. Mavs strand a couple, but score one. Top of the eighth coming up. It's 11-2 Med Hat. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball.
Old saying goes,
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
The Hearing Place is proud to continue their support of the Swift Current Indians Baseball Club. Located conveniently in the Swift Current City Plaza, The Hearing Place is your #1 stop for hearing healthcare in Southwest Saskatchewan. Don't compromise on your hearing. Get tested by our qualified audiologist, Karen Woods. Call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment today. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
Excel Bus Lines is proud to once again be the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians, and have they got a deal for baseball fans. This July 23rd to 28th, see the Toronto Blue Jays in Seattle, $9.49 per person, double occupancy, and the seats are all in the lower club. That'll get you 3 baseball games plus rooms, and the trip is guaranteed. Also ask about a cruise trip in February of 2016 and their 7 Disneyland trips. Excel Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Swift Current Indians. Home in
So Bryce Faya, who has touched up in Swift Current,
Canada's #1 choice for custom window coverings.
will come into this game and try and take care of the Swift Current Indians. Chad Schultz is hitting where Tyler Enns was. So for the first time this season, Tyler Enns is going to miss a scheduled plate appearance and sit out. Enns with perfect attendance every moment of every game up until now, as Chad Schultz has come in as a substitute for Enns. Schultz on the year hitting .288 for the Swift Current Indians. 1-1 the count as Bryce Faya coming in for the Mavs. Kunkel gave the Mavericks an inning of work. Faced 3 hitters, 3 up, 3 down, all you could ask for. Bryce Faya, lefty closer, as Schultz hits one deep to center field. And getting underneath that right at the warning track is Arthur. But allowed out. Flying out to center field. And that'll bring Nate Ackerman to the plate. Ackerman out of the game is singled, walked, and struck out. Bryce Faya coming on in relief for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Appearance number 14 on the year for Faya. He's worked 14 1/3, 12 hits, 12 runs. Only 6 of them earned. He's walked 8 and struck out 11. 3-1 on the year with 4 saves and a 3.76 ERA. As
Fans, check your program. If you're
Nate Ackerman
signed by
fouls
an
one
estimation
off.
set on the Taco Time end, your winner of a Taco Time meal combo, go to the Mavericks office.
And it's a
now for
1-1
your
count to
program.
Ackerman.
Surprise.
Top of the 8th, 11-2 the lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Nick Day, who homered in his last at-bat, on deck. We'll see him this inning as Ackerman hits it into foul territory. And that's just out of reach of the Mavs' first baseman. It's Jake Benolkin now playing first after a plethora of substitutions by the Mavs in this 11-2 ball game. So it's a 1-2. Ackerman awaiting the offering from Fea, and that'll be called strike 3. Lefty on righty matchup, and that pitch going all the way across the plate and biting an inside portion of the strike zone. And 2.
Nick Day.
So Nick Day homered his last at bat off Landon Russo, the starter. That was in the 6th inning. So 0-1 today. That'll be ball 1. On deck for the Swift Current Indians is Kevin Zarnecki. We'll see what the Swift Current Indians do defensively as Chad Schultz came in for Tyler Enns. Schultz, I would imagine, would play left. And we'll see if they move Ackerman or Sauceda to center. No one's played center field this year except Tyler Enns, but he's out of this game as Chad Schultz came in to pinch hit for him. 2-1 today. Make it 3-1. Nothing Nick could do with that one. From the left-handed pitcher, Bryce Fea. The 3-1 pitch from Fea. As Nick Day will be walked in 5 pitches.
Zernicki, number 9.
Zarnecki singled, walked, and flown out. 2 out, Nick Day at first for Zarnecki to work with. Bryce Fea all the way across the plate, lefty on lefty matchup. Zarnecki thought about that fastball, and it'll be strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 8th inning. It's an 11-2 Mavs lead. Fouled off by Zarnecki. That'll make the count 1-2. And it's a pitcher's count now with Zarnecki down 1-2. One-two pitch, check swing, and that is going to scoot away from Mitch Doucette behind the plate and allow Nick Day the chance to gallop to second base. So that changes the complexion of this at-bat for Zarnecki as he now has a runner in scoring position. Casey Bang warming up on deck where Reed Fritzke was in the lineup. And we'll see if we get to Casey here in the top of the 8th. Well hit ball. As he puts it in the outfield, Nick Day being sent home, and he will touch home plate. And that'll be run number 3 for the Swift Current Indians. Put the rally caps on. It's an 11-3 ball game. Casey Bang entering the game now for the Tribe. Bang on the year, a .333 hitter in limited action. He's appeared in 14 of the Tribe 28 games. This will be his 37th at bat of the year, and he's had 12 hits. .333 batting average, 6 ribbies on the year, 2 down, and a runner on at first for Casey to work with. Runner in motion is Kevin Zarnecki, and he will swipe his 7th bag of the year, uncontested. Oh, 0-2 the count to Casey Bang. Kevin Zarnecki, 7th stolen base on the year. Ties him with Tyler Enns for 2nd on the team. Jose Rojas, who's still out with a nagging injury, has 8. Fastball inside to Bang. And 1-2 the count. Zarnecki takes his lead at second. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. It's dropped, but they'll get the out at first, and that'll take care of the Swift Current Indians. Kevin Zarnecki with an RBI single to score Nick Day. Gets the Swift Current Indians to within 8. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. It's an 11-3 Medicine Hat Maverick lead. Nelson Cork will take to the mound, and the Tribe will take to the field when we're back with Full Line Ag Baseball.
Home Inn & Suites Swift Current is proud to be the official host hotel for the Swift Current Indians Ball Club. Home Inn & Suites Swift Current offers great amenities such as modern rooms, a continental breakfast, fitness center, water slide, and meeting rooms, all at a great low price. Home Inn & Suites is part of the growing home hotel brand. Make your reservation today by calling 306-778-7788 or by reserving online at homeinsc.ca.
Many of us take our ability to communicate for granted, yet the ability to hear and be heard is much more vital to our everyday lives than we realize. If you or someone you know is struggling, please call The Hearing Place at 778-0826 and book your appointment with our clinical audiologist, Karen Woods. The Hearing Place. We focus on our client's journey.
So with Chad Schultz coming on to pinch hit for Tyler Enns, the outfield looks like Chad Schultz in left, Nate Ackerman in center, and Andrew Sauceda moves to right field. So Sauceda moves from left to right. Ackerman moves right to center. Schultz enters the game at left. Got it? Nelson Cork still dealing for the Swift Current Indians. Bottom of the 8th inning, 11-3.
Bottom of the 8th inning, it's the 1-2-3 batters leading the way. Left fielder number 9, Gabe Larez.
Gabe Larez, 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI on the night for the Mavs leadoff hitter. Nelson Cork throws the first pitch outside and just above the dirt, 1-0 count. Cork throwing to Jake Garcia. Gabe Larez hitting .305 on the year. Ground ball, hit to Kevin Zarnecki. 2-hopper, off to first. Casey Bang in to play first as well for the Swift Current Indians. Got all our defensive substitutions covered. Larez grounds out to the second baseman.
Number 2, Ryan Kemp.
And Ryan Kemp. Kemp 1 for 3 with an RBI, walk, And he's touched home plate as well, the 190 hitting infielder, Ryan Kemp. Kemp coming to the Medicine Hat Mavericks from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Active bat at the plate. Quark, fastball inside, right at about the letters. One-0 pitch as Quark winds and fires. Fastball. Another one inside, 2-0 count. Kemp with a 2-0 count, hits it high. Jake Garcia will get underneath that and make the grab on the sometimes tough to navigate foul ball behind the plate. So Kemp flies out to the catcher.
13, Devin Johnson.
And Devin Johnson, 0 for 2 thus far. Johnson, you could tell in his previous 2 at-bats, he's been used sparingly by the Medicine Hat Mavericks and hasn't seen as much action as some of his teammates, so he's looking to get a few more hacks in. A couple of infield flies for Johnson thus far, but still has that batting average well above 300, 311 coming into this at-bat. As we've eclipsed 3 hours in this one between the Tribe and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Bottom of the 8th inning, 11-3, the Mavs lead it. Nelson Quark induces a fly ball into foul territory that third baseman Nick Day will position himself under and make the grab. That'll do it for the Mavs. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th coming up. Tribe need 8. 11-3 the score. We're back shortly with Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball.
Living Sky Casino. Living Sky.
It's summer cruising time, and Living Sky Casino would like to help fill your tank by giving away $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday in July. Swipe your Players Club card daily throughout July for chances to win $1,000 in fuel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You must be present to win, so take a trip to Living Sky Casino to fill your tank. Live it up.
Living Sky Casino. Living Sky.
The old saying goes,
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
well, in this digital age, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. If you're in business and want to be noticed, get in touch with Snowstreaker Media.
Websites, social media, video production, creative writing.
Trust Snowstreaker to tell your stories in ways that will get everyone's attention. If you're looking for an edge on the competition, make Snowstreaker your secret weapon. Visit snowstreaker.com to learn more.
And welcome back to Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball. Medicine Hat Mavericks are going to use another player. Maurice Richard on the mound for the Mavs. 4 appearances, all in relief. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 run of the earned variety. He's walked 2 and struck out 5. Couple of saves and a 2.25 ERA for Richard. He's tasked with taking care of the Swift Current Indians in the top of the 9th. Sauceda, Garcia, Brooks due up, barring any substitutions from Joe Carnahan. So right-handed pitcher Maurice Richard entering the ballgame. Andrew Sauceda will lead off for the Swift Current Indians as they go 7-8-9. Andrew 0 for 3. Grounded out, flown out, and struck out. So the Swift Current Indians, who in the past week have had a 10-run inning against the Medicine Hat Mavericks, hoping for the best here in the top of the 9th. 11-3, the Mavs lead it. Pitch inside from Richard. And a ground ball hit by Sauceda. And he's put out via the 5-3. Good play by Ryan Helgren over at third to grab that ground ball. One down for Richard and the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Jake Garcia.
Miles Richard in to pitch for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Did I actually say Maurice Richard? Oh, man. That's the kind of day it's been. Everyone's off their game today. Miles Richard. Strike 2 to Garcia. As Richard, 0-2 pitch, winds and fires. Well, call him Rocket Richard here, as he takes care of Jake Garcia. Oh, it is pronounced Richard, actually. Eh? All right. May we. Well, he's from Oregon, so I assumed Richard, but Miles Richard in relief, trying to close down the Swift Current Indians. 2 down. Kevin Betancourt pinch hitting where Drew Brooks was in the lineup. So KB is going to get a shot at Miles Richard here. Richard. High heat for ball 1. That just induced a sick sound of baseball on leather. You can tell there's some velo to this guy's fastball. And Kevin Betancourt is going to wear one right in the shoulder. That stung. So KB comes on and gets dotted by a fastball in the bicep, and that gives the Swift Current Indians some 2-out life here in the top of the 9th. 11-3 the score. And Darren Kolk up now for the Tribe. So Miles Richard looks the runner at first. Deals to Koch. Koch swinging at the breaking pitch. Just a fastball that fell out of the strike zone from Richard. Pitch in the dirt. And 1-1 the count. Miles Richard charged with being the final coffin nail for the Swift Current Indians in this one. He's got 2 out, but a runner on at first after he plunked Kevin Betancourt. Strike 2 as Koch takes a big cut. And Miles Richard and the Medicine Hat crowd behind him, trying to eliminate the Swift Current Indians. 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit up. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Our next Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball broadcast is going to be tomorrow night when the Tribe take on the Regina Red Sox. As Richard swung on and missed. And that'll be strike 3. 11-3 final. Tribe will host the Regina Red Sox tomorrow night. The Sox have lost 9 in a row. And the Swift Current Indians will try and get back in the win column. They had a 2-game streak going into this one, but the Swift Current Indians dropped this one 11-3. Our Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians player of the game is going to be Kevin Zarnecki for the Swift Current Indians. Zarnecki, 2 for 3 with an RBI for the Swift Current Indians. We'll see you tomorrow night at Mitchell Field in Swift Current. 7:05 first pitch. The Tribe taking on the Regina Red Sox. And then the Tribe back here in Medicine Hat on Saturday. So 7:05 first pitch tomorrow night in Swift Current against Regina. That does it for another Full Line Ag Swift Current Indians baseball broadcast. Good night from Athletic Park in Medicine Hat.
The Mavericks win tonight.